Bonjour everyone, welcome to another diecast showcase. All right, it's another Free It Friday. I thought I'd go through as usual a few finds from the last couple weeks, as well as some getting some stuff cracked open here. Let some breathe. I thought I'd crack open basically not only some of the new castings I picked up, but also some of the ones that I already had, but of which I do not have a variation that's loose. Without further ado, we will get right into it. First couple of things that I found should be pretty much the most recent would be the current wave of, I believe at least it's current for me, wave of Matchbox mainlines. A couple of ones I'm really happy to find. So first one that I managed to get my hands on was my first addition to the collection of the Karma GS6 from what's listed on the packaging here. So this would have been originally the Fisker Karma until the tooling was bought off by a different company, at which point Fisker, which is responsible for some of the styling cues or designs of Aston Martins. Basically, tooling of his all-electric sedan was sold off, and it was renamed the Karma. I believe it would be the Karma Rivero, if I'm not mistaken. Basically, Matchbox did a great job on this one, at least in my opinion. Some great details front and back, full tampo, nice dark blue metallic, nice hue of paint, smoke chrome twin 10 spokes, great looking wheel on these larger body cars. And as you can see, a nice medium tan interior with that clear panoramic roof to give a nice view of the interior. So pretty cool cast. Pretty happy to find that. Stylings, love it or hate it. Proportions I find personally kind of weird, but it's an overall very nice looking car in the 1:1 real life scale. Second cast I managed to pick up. This is a wave that has some of these special 70th anniversary editions. The only one that I was really interested in getting was this one, recolor of the 66 Charger, first gen Charger. So definitely a very cool cast, and kind of looks good in that silver and black livery with the orange accents. You got the tri-spoke Matchbox wheels that always look great on classic cars. Nice big front grille with the hideaway lights, and nice rear detailing with that light bar and the Charger lettering right in the middle of that. Big Dodge logo on the rear wing, and the 70th anniversary kind of shield there on both on the packaging and on the front fender. So very nice vehicle, and it's a cool little piece. So I'm gonna hang on to that one for a while. One that I was really looking forward to in this wave and vehicle, that type of vehicle the Matchbox does extremely well in my opinion, is this really nice 70 Ranchero in what I like to call it kind of like a granny spec. So those steely wheels with the dogdish caps, full side detail, full rear detail, nice kind of a green, olive green metallic there. Very period color, very 70s. No front detailing, but with the chrome base lending itself to the front grille and lights, actually looks pretty darn good. Very nice, clean, sober design. I love the fact that they did take the time to detail the gas cap with a little bit of silver there. And definitely what Matchbox does best, these in my opinion. Now, for collectors who may not know, be on the lookout. There's a wheel variation for this specific car that actually has the same wheels as the Charger, those tri-spoke wheels, but just in chrome there, chrome and black, as opposed to the orange chrome and black for the 70th edition. So yeah, very happy to add this to the collection. The one I was most looking forward to, and love when they come out with these weird casts that you would not expect, basically. would be the AMC Eagle with the complete with the wood trim. Very cool little wagon. Uh, somewhat of a good car if we're talking about the actual type of vehicle and the era in which it was released. As you can see, this is a 1980 model, and this was released in the mid to late 70s as a model, and pretty much a precursor to what Subaru claims to be their invention with the whole Outback slash Audi Allroad, or those type of kind of like semi off-road, semi roads, lifted wagons there. But this is definitely a cool one. I mean, you don't see a whole lot of castings of this. This is something maybe I would have seen Motormax release in their Fresh Cherry series or something like that. Really happy Matchbox put this one out. I am a little bit disappointed on the lack of rear tampo, which I would have expected in views of the fact you got two tampo passes only on each side. I believe with a lot of tampo work. And the front is not detailed, but I like the fact though that the front end actually does have a lighter shade of gray plastic for the front fascia. Kind of hard to see with the glare, but there you go. And I do also like the fact that the lower part, the bumper part, is a little bit darker. So it makes it that much easier to make the details that could potentially be added kind of pop there. So very cool. And I like the fact that they use the off-road wheels on this, which is a good choice, I find, for the type of vehicle, and does resemble quite a bit the original wheels that would have been on this vehicle in period. So that's it for the Matchbox. After that, basically, I had a little bit of a surprise strolling into one of the shops where I had found those two Lamborghini Essenza premium chase pieces, which are right here. I actually did another round and surprisingly ended up finding a third one. So now we're at number 3. Honestly, I'm starting to not know what to do with these. If anybody local to me is interested in a trade, I'm definitely open to offers. Same thing, basically. If anybody local wants to buy one off me, I'm letting these go at about 60% of what the asking price is on eBay. So I want to be fair, but at the same time, it, as most people know, funds the hobby, right? I'm not trying to be a scalper or reseller here, but diecast is getting expensive, and if I have the opportunity to pick up these pieces, I don't collect chase pieces for the most part, and be glad to let somebody that does profit off this through a little exchange. So yeah, hit me up in the comments or in messages if you'd like to transact. Last premium that I actually was able to put my hands on is one I know is very desirable. I did manage to pick up the Back to the Future Toyota pickup. Very, very cool. Very nice casting that I was able to pick up a version of in the Toyota set that came out last year. Maybe the year before that. I'm not even sure anymore. I think last year. And yeah, this one is even cooler in my opinion than the blue version in that set. So very cool. Managed to find 2 of these. Picked up one for a buddy that really wanted one, and let me know if I find them to pick one up for him. So definitely did that, and there you go. So that's a worthy addition to the movie car collection. I'm very, very happy to have this, as the price on the original that came out in the entertainment series with the different packaging, or bulbous packaging, let's just say, it's fetching a pretty penny. So I would have never went ahead and bought the original one. So happy they reissued this. Definitely happy. Very cool. Last thought, we're gonna finish off with some Hot Wheels mainlines, and basically first one that I found, so I'm probably not gonna keep and use as trade bait, was the treasure hunt for, I believe this is D or E case. I'm not even sure anymore. So yeah, I found a couple of those. Just picked up one, left the rest behind. It is a casting I like, but I'm not crazy about, for one, the orange glass on this mod rod. I get that it's, the Hot Wheels 55th livery and everything like that, but, not really my jam. So this probably will be going into the T-Hunt stash for trades. There were like 3 of these, basically, and I left 2 behind. So, I did not find any. A lot of people were finding these inside 9 packs, which not my case. I was not able to see a single 9 pack with this piece included in there. Probably wouldn't have bought it anyways if it did, but still, it's interesting to see. Um, you know, don't collect a whole lot of fantasy casts, but this one I really did have to pick up, and it's the El Segundo Coupe. Very cool, lending its name to where Hot Wheels offices are in California. This is pretty much the actual full, complete version of the Coupe Clip that I do have the first release in kind of like chromish silver. So this is cool. I like the fact that they actually made this into a car, and it's a nice cast. You've got some vibes from front end, a little bit like a Marcos, or maybe a yeah, it kind of looks like a Marcos or a Ginetta or those smaller British manufacturers, basically, that produce lightweight, limited run sports cars and hand built sports cars. Side profiles got a lot of, at least in my opinion, kind of like a 250 GTO in the back, the early one, the fastback, as well as a little bit of a shape from a Shelby Daytona Coupe. Yeah, and the rear end, again, some Shelby vibes going on there, at least in my opinion. Even a little bit of the maybe Datsun 240Z or Nissan Fairlady Z, depending on which version you'd like to base that on, all depending where you are in the world. Yeah, I like the fact they put the louvers on the rear window. It does add a little retro touch, and that meatball on the door does look good as well. Good choice of wheels on those black lace wheels. They're muted enough to really let the proportion of the car pop, and very nice looking car overall. Very nice design study there. Getting back into more realistic casts. Again, trying to limit the variations, but I had to. I mean, this is probably the most period correct livery for the Toyota van so far, the Toyota Light Ace. I have two other of the versions, the first release in maroon red, and then the silver one. This is the one that I really want to crack open, because that color combo, the beige with the brown and the TRD style colors on the side stripes, are really, really cool. I do notice that for the sliding door rail, there is no tampo there. I don't know if that's on purpose or not. Actually, I'm gonna check on the other variations I have to see if it's the same. Kind of curious. Well, I have the silver one here that was not too far off there. Is this an error or is this not an error? Because it's not the same design of stripes on the side. I'm really not sure. You guys, let me know in the comments if we're talking about an tampo error or something like that. You see the one on the top is a slight tampo slide, as the side deco is kind of crooked there. So, but yeah, all in all, pretty cool little piece. So yeah, as mentioned, we'll be cracking this one open. I'm actually gonna do that right away since we got it on hand. And yeah, let's check this one out in more detail, because there are a lot of details on this van. Here it is in hand. Actually lighter than I would have expected. I mean, the base is quite big, and it does come up on the sides for the mud flaps and all that good stuff, basically. Quad exhaust on the back. Love the tampo work on the back, mind you. It's very, very well done. Little Hot Wheels plate there. Dark windows. You can see the brown interior a little bit. It's just too bad about that huge pole in the middle of the trunk area. Kind of, I don't know, would have been cool with darker windows in the back or something, just to kind of hide that a little bit more, but hey, no biggie. Lens lights that are part of the glass portion of the cast, big sunroof. These are kind of cab over engine design, so the engine's in the middle, front midship, I guess you could say, right on top of the axle, or slightly behind it. So yeah, look at that embossing work for the Toyota lettering in that front grille. It's pretty nicely done. You got some mirrors on there, big wing, and this type of plastic body kit here that we have all around, that brown portion that lends itself to the interior. This actually is an optional Toyota body kit that was available in Japan. So, and the tiny aero discs really work well on this cast. I mean, a lot of people hate on aero discs, but on some cars they just work really well. Not a whole lot of detail missing, basically, if we're talking about making this a little bit more complete. There's a slight little issue here. The plastic, as you can see, is not on the other side. But then again, minivans back then only had one sliding door, so. And this, surprisingly, despite being part of the J imports, as you can see, is actually a left-hand drive. Kind of surprised of, but yep, all in all, really cool piece. I really like this little van. So I'm happy to have one loose, and the other two variations will stay in their package for now. Other two I have. One that I'm not going to open, but the one that I was happiest to find, since it was slim pickings, I was definitely late to the drop. I did manage also to pick up the 84 Corvette, that C4, the early C4. Very cool cast with those, the rear lights basically that are, or the rear light ports that are hollowed out, and black interior that lends itself to kind of like a tinted look. Really nice side details on this one, the OH5 wheels, which are a personal favorite of mine. Love the concave look of these. Very nice also, they're same diameter, because Corvette wheels in that era were same diameter. They started to be staggered, if I'm not mistaken, probably on the C6. Not sure if the C5 example Z06 had staggered wheels in diameter, not width obviously. But hey, got the top tampo here with the Go Faster white stripes on that gold paint with the Corvette logo. Hot Wheels flame on the side, door handles detailed out, little beauty stripe on the bottom there, and the turn signals are also done. No fronts, but those are extremely easy to add, as you can see from the card there. It's literally just a silver light strip. So if and when I crack this, I will be adding a little touch of silver to there. And same thing for the signature quad exhaust, which is kind of hard to see, but, and there it is. So definitely going to detail those tailpipes out a little bit as well. Maybe a little touch of silver and then some red on the rear lights as well. We will see eventually. For now, this is staying in package, because the only other variation of this I have would be an older one on Hot Ones, like a early to mid 80s one with the opening hood, and it's not the exact same cast. Actually, sorry about this, guys. I'm just checking in the trunk. You won't be able to see it on camera probably, but indeed, these are very darkly tinted windows, and there is like a luggage in the back in the trunk, like a carry-on bag or something like that, and that's been part of this cast ever since it was released. Actually, a year before the C4 was released in real life. So pretty cool stuff. I like that. I like this car a lot, and the color combination works very well. Now, two other ones that I did pick up and we're going to crack open. These are actually part of that same case. I picked them up because they had matching livery, and I find that's always kind of cool. You know, my series on Best in Pairs. I mean, you can't go wrong with 32 Ford. Little high boy there. No hood, no fenders. You got the SoCal Speed Shop colors with the number 28. And then you got the Max Steel here, which honestly I'm still not sure what type of engine this is. As you can see, there's a huge fan in the front. So I'm assuming it's kind of like an air-cooled, maybe, I don't know, tank engine or something like that. Either way, very cool, both of them. I do have the first variation of this I'm going to keep on card. Because of that special color that I really like, but these two are getting cracked open immediately. So Max Steel is a fantasy cast once more, but I mean, at the end of the day, hot rods are pretty much all fantasy cars on the get-go, because the person that builds them has a vision in his head and he makes his fantasy come true. Love the staggered width wheel setup on this, as well as diameter. 5 spokes. You got the big fatties on the back there, and the skinnies on the front with the appropriate spacers to make sure it still has that wide track. Probably gonna add a couple touches of silver here to the front lights. But yeah, the color combo is really cool. It's very Bonneville-esque, like Bonneville Speed Week or whatever it's called there. Very very cool looking little hot rod. Very, very cool. The red base there. So yeah, that's very cool. And the matching Model A Ford is definitely something that's very cool as well. And very cool. They're going to be very cool to add to the hot rod stash. So this is a cast that's been around for well over a decade. Has had countless recolors, and besides a gold slightly pinstripe variation that I have carded, this is probably going to be my favorite one, just because of that really cool retro livery. Again, I mean, these two look really good together, as you can see. Very retro as well, with the support van next to it. That's pretty cool. Staying in the retro kind of realm. Surprising, I noticed that despite my love of wagons, I did not have one of these loose. So since this one does have soft corners, as you can see, you know, it's getting kind of soft, you know, on the bottom corners. I thought, hey, why the heck not? I've got 2 other variations of this on card. Might as well crack this one open. I have one on short card. I believe I showed in a previous video the color variant of this, which is black with the green and silver flames. This one I thought was more fun with the brightness and whatnot, and I love the steelies on it as well with the white lip. So that one's going to get a nice detail job as well. Front and back, a couple of little details on the side, but definitely a very, very cool cast. I love these. Especially, you know, it's an SS. It's not my favorite generation of Chevelle. I do prefer the 68, 69 more than the 70s, but this is definitely a nice cast. So we'll crack that open right away. Oh, look at that. Came right off like that. Clean. Love it when that happens. And this is a big hunk of metal right here. You know, obviously plastic base there, but it's a heavy cast. A lot of metal on this one, and it does show it. This is a release. When is this from? This specific one would have been 2017, so 2018 release on this one. So yeah, really nice little car. Yeah, those front lights are in dire need of being added there. You probably agree with me on that. Maybe a touch of yellow or orange for those turn signals in the bumpers, and they come out really nice with fine point Sharpie on chrome surfaces like that. It literally looks like it's glass. So, you know, wouldn't say pro tip, but it's really worthwhile, and it's so easy to add. Got that rear end is really cool. No rear window, but you know, it was a factory option that it was roll down, so that works. That works for me. Yeah, just a couple little details in red for the lights there, and maybe a touch of silver for the exhaust, just to kind of have it differentiate itself from the chrome on the bumpers. Nice flame job. Really like the flame job on this. It's not too excessive, but it's definitely very present. I love the fact that the roof is completely bare, except for that tiny little factory defect, little black speck there. But yeah, no worries. You know what? Kind of a hot rod, so it doesn't have to be perfect. That is definitely one that I like a lot, and I'm happy to have finally one loose. Definitely cool. Another cast that I really enjoy that I don't have loose would be the Mazda RX-3 with the N2 wide body for the single make races, as well as the endurance and Super Taikyu events that participated in the 70s. So yeah, I chose to liberate the Mad Mike one because it's white, which makes it easier for your details to pop, but much more challenging if you make a mistake. So you know what? Hot Wheels is always putting on that challenge accepted motto out every time there's a dump bin and things like that. So you know what? Challenge accepted. We'll try and detail this one out eventually to make it a little bit more detailed. You know, it's going to be a big detailing job, you know, with chroming the bumpers, the grill, the lights, you know. This is a 2020 license, 21 release, so it's 2 years old. It's not that old. It is not the Super. This is probably visually one of the toughest Supers, well, the Super of this specific car, one of the toughest ones to actually differentiate from the mainline. Spectraflame white versus gloss white like this. Yeah, but it's pretty cool. Love these wide body old school compact JDM cars. It's just in dire need of details, basically. It's almost like Hot Wheels did the whole side top and made sure that all the details were there and left front and rear as a blank canvas for somebody to detail out, which I'll be glad to do. Yeah, that'll be a cool project eventually. Let's see what last one I'm going to be cracking, if we're talking about singles, will be the Nissan Maxima drift wagon or drift car. Well, it's a wagon, so drift wagon. Yeah, again, really easy to detail, blocky 80s styling. Plus I love the fact that you always have a reference through the card on what this is supposed to look like, so that's going to be fun. Definitely a cool wheel variety as well that they released. I love those tri-spokes, those super advan looking wheels. Very, very super advan. I should be careful with my pronunciation there, but yeah, really cool. So that'll look really cool as well, with a few extra details front and rear. Just like the Mazda, you know, we're talking about a blank canvas that is just in dire need of getting filled out. And yeah, I love the wing mirrors as well. Wish the Mazda actually had some wing mirrors too. Yeah, I mean, this is like one of the hot casts, I think, from last year and this year. So no need to peruse on it too long. But yeah, it's definitely a very, very cool. This is my type of build, you know, RB swapped, rear wheel drive wagon with a wide body, you know, no bumper in the rear, and just huge lip on the front, and just made the smash those corners sideways, so, and plume out that smoke. It's going to be a really fun project as well to detail. So I've got kind of like a retro lineup going on here. Last pickup and unboxing that we're going to be doing for this specific video will be little 3-pack that I picked up, basically. The 3-packs are actually really good this year so far, with a lot of cool casts in them. This one, you know, for rating it, I'd give it a 2 out of 3. So we've got this 3-pack right here. Bottom one, look, it's kind of filler, but we have this cool teal turquoise color Cyclone, GMC Cyclone, as well as a multi-pack exclusive recolor of the GR Supra, Mark V Supra with the wide body kit. So without further ado, we're going to actually get those open. I normally go by the sides to open this. I find it's the easiest way to get them out. And if you're careful and you don't necessarily bust up the cardboard on the side too much opening it, these are really good to reuse, to either resealed to make gifts, gift packs, custom gift packs, or even for storage, basically. So we've got the empty box, we've got the little rack, and we got the car I don't really care for. Open wheel racer. It's a good looking car, don't get me wrong. Obviously, front, it's as if they almost put the nose cone upside down because of the wing angle. But again, for the play sets and the tracks, they kind of don't have a choice, because otherwise it would get stuck literally everywhere if it was at the same angle as these real cars would be. This is kind of F1 looking car, maybe, because Indy cars, they do have the covered cockpit now. What's the name of this here? Yeah, they call it the F1 Racer. So I guess it would be a little bit of an older gen versus the current ones that have that big, those big protection bars around the driver's cockpit. But it's a fairly modern design if we're talking about the rest of the car and how the aero is set up. I mean, it seems to be in line with the regulations for the past maybe 3, 4, 5 years, except for the driver protection, obviously. So this one's gonna go in my daughter's stash of cars, because not a cast I collect. Not the most horrible fantasy cast that exists, but still. And then we're going to check out this Cyclone. No need to point out the obvious. No tampos in the front, which I find since the yellow release of this truck, the lower contrasting body cladding. Same thing for the silver and blue one. Blue, silver, and blue color variation. It's always a shame because it's kind of tough to color match the specific shades that Hot Wheels has used in the past. This one here is, like a very, 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 very dark gloss gray, which is not a color that's super common. So I would love to have continued the tampos on the front bumper. And of course, I'll definitely give a little detailing job to that front grille. Definitely. Again, 80s styling, very easy to add, although this is a early 90s release model with the turbo 4.3 road-based all-wheel drive system, as opposed to the 4x4 selectable on the regular versions of the S10 and Sonoma. The rear is really nice, though. The rear tampos have always been nice on this model, so still a very, very cool casting that I really was happy to see released, especially in the original black version. And the RA6 wheels work so well, because they are, although larger diameter, obviously, in scale, they are very similar to the original wheels that came with both the Cyclone and the Typhoon, so like the Blazer variety of this thing. So. And yeah, last but not least, we'll check out that little Supra, because everybody loves a Supra, right? So let me just make this a nice lineup so we can see all the cars in their entirety. There we go. And here is the GR Supra with the Panda body kit, wide body kit. Black 10 spokes, great choice. Love this shade of green. Very, very nice color. Very metallic, as you can see. It's got a very nice sheen to it. And it actually, I find, compared to the lighter or solid colors like the yellow and white, the wing actually looks a little bit less chunky. And you kind of forget also that the rear lights aren't done, because the livery is a little bit more of an attention grabber with the Greddy and the white and lighter green on there. Front lights are well done. Toyota logo is well proportioned. And overall it's a nice cast. It's a very nice cast. It's just missing mirrors, but it's all good. You'll notice that there's no metal for the A-pillars. Yeah, it's a very, very cool color. And definitely my favorite variation that I have in my collection so far. So that'll pretty much do it. It's kind of a long video. So we'll stop it there. And yeah, let me know if which of these is your favorite. Which ones you guys have. Any which ones have you found in store? And yeah, if there's any feedback you'd like to provide, of course the comments are there for that. So don't hesitate to hit that like and subscribe for future content. Until then, I will bid you an excellent rest of your day and a great weekend. And I will catch you on the next one. Take care. Stay safe. Bye bye.